We're just laying in that supported back bend with, a slight heart opener. Notice how you're breathing. What is the pace of your breath? Can you give yourself some space? Is there a little more room for the inhale to expand you? Is there space for a deeper surrender with the exhale? When we give ourselves this time to breathe, we unite ourselves with the moment at hand. You don't experience your breath in the future. You don't experience your breath in the past. You experience your breath right now. And so we're coming into the present moment, breathing deeply, giving ourselves time to experience it, to really be here. And our opportunity with yoga, this practice, is a chance for us to create this union within ourselves to all that has already been, right? This piece of us that is always whole and with us, and return to it, to remember it. And the beauty of a still practice is when the mind wanders off and you catch yourself in a far off thought in a different place or time. You have the power to reconnect to where you are. And your breath is that tool that can help you get there. It's just one of the tools. Steady, spacious breath in. Full breath out. Take 3 more cycles of breath. Deep inhale, taking it all the way into the collarbone. And a long exhale, feeling your back body melt further onto the props beneath you, the ground supporting you. Long breath in. Long breath out. Your legs are extended long. You just walk your feet in, bending the knees to the ceiling. And then come over onto your right side today. Just pause for a moment. Tip over off of your blanket, your bolster, your burrito. Take a long breath in. Opening the mouth, exhale, sigh it out. You can blink the eyes open and support yourself as you rise to seated. I'm just going to take the arms out to the side when you get tall and long. Reach long and apart. Open the chest. As you exhale, bend the elbows to the waist. Collarbone broadens. Let your ribs splay a little bit. You can be sitting on the ground to block bolster. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, bring them to those goalposts. Breathe in, draw the elbows a little further apart. And as you exhale, elbows back slightly and towards the waist. Lift the chin, breathe in. And then as you exhale, bring those hands together over the heart, a little dip of the chin to the chest. We're going to start to take the pose of the week. We're going to take it on each side. So for the sake of like consistency in my cues, I'm going to say have your props to support you with your left leg's going to be on top. So here's a couple things. You can have a blanket just behind the head, okay? The tips of the shoulders, a block, or I personally prefer a bolster to your right. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna come onto your back. Okay, I'm gonna move this bolster just so you can see what's going on. If you're following, and then you're gonna scoot your hips just a little center of left. Let your right leg go long, your toes are soft. The bolster is on your right, and you're just gonna bring that left knee over to it. And let's say you get there and you realize you want a little more space, you might set a block on top of it. I personally think 2 blocks do a little bit better, or 2 bolsters might work even a little bit better, so it's an even surface. But you'll work with what you've got. What I really want is much support underneath that left knee and shin as you can get. Your arms will open up to the side, and then you can have a soft bend in that right knee. If you'd like, you can pick up the head and turn it towards your left hand. We'll be here for about 5 minutes on each side. So get settled in. Remember that discomfort is not what we're really working with in a restorative practice, but there maybe will be a little unfamiliar space that you're working with. So adjust as you need, move the props. There might be too much, there might not be enough. Get creative with it wherever you are. Bath towels, pillow cushion, like couch cushions, anything It doesn't have to look a particular way. We're just trying to connect to the moment. Breathing deeply in and out. Let the inhale open the chest. Let the exhale soften your right hip into the ground. Samavesha, a union with all that is whole, a universal remembrance, coming back to or integrating. This first poem I'm going to read to you is by Allie Michelle, and it's called The Awakening. When I found home within myself, I was free. When I truly loved myself, I opened my eyes, and I could finally see. I gazed at everything and recognized it as me. This practice brings us to the present moment so that we may fully see ourselves, see our wholeness, our enoughness. Really integrate with that, we must come to the moment at hand, slow down and arrive. Allow your inhales to be spacious. Allow the exhale to do the same. Take 3 more cycles of breath. The inhalation into the collarbone, heart lifting. Exhale, softening into the shape. Take a long breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale. Sigh it out. Your head will come through center. Maybe allow the left foot to find the ground as you turn your hips towards the ceiling in front of your hips. Allow your left leg to go long to meet your right. Allow the shoulders to soften. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. And then we move the props from the right side of the body over to the left. Do know that you may need more or less props on this side, under the right leg, and that is normal, that you are not symmetrically mobile and made. You probably favor a side in your body, and that's okay. It's very normal. So you walk your feet back in, you'll plant your feet, scoot the hips just a hair to the right, so that way your left leg can line up with the spine, with your plumb line, and then bending the right knee and taking it across the chest, finding the props under the right knee and shin, and then the right arm can come out to the right, maybe even turning the head towards the right fingers. This is less about active toes and arches and flexed toes or pointed feet and reaching with your fingers. It's just a soft opening. The restorative practice is like a flower opening. It is not a coercion. It is not a force. Not forceful. It's very intentional and in its own time. So I will spend time there. Okay. Find your breaths here. This idea of samavesha can feel a bit vague, can be really complex, can feel so simple all at once. Cleo Wade shares one of her writings is titled, How to Take the First Step on a Long Journey. First of all, smile about what there is to smile about. Now we have choice, and it's in the moment at hand. How do we unite with it? With a smile, with a frown? These are just questions we slow down. We use the breath to keep coming back. Long inhale in. Long exhale out. more than halfway there. Just keep breathing. Take these last 3 cycles of breath here. Notice if any tensions crept in subconsciously. In reaction to the moments, the thoughts, the experience. If you can give yourself grace. That this is your path and you're already on it. Whatever it may be, is exactly what it's supposed to be. A deep breath in and a full breath out. You'll look up to the ceiling. You can bend that right knee more deeply so the foot can plant behind the left leg. Bring your hips front points to face the ceiling. Allow your legs to go long. Once again, a deep inhalation, belly rises, chest lifts. Open the mouth and exhale. Let it all out. Then you'll once again walk the feet in. It's going to tip over onto a side and help yourself up to seated. You can sit on a blanket or just comfortable cross-legged. We're just going to add a little bit of twisting or side bending here, lateral flexion. So let's bring our left hand beside our left hip. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And then exhale, bend over to your left. Inhale from left hip, right hip to right fingers. Reach to the left side a bit further. Allow your left shoulder to fall. One more inhale into the right lungs. And ribs and exhale to soften. Walk it forward slowly. Come through the center. Breathe into the back body from your sit bones to the base of your skull, and exhale, just fold in. Hold one full round of breath, inhaling. Generous on the exhale. And then walking the hands in. Your right hand beside your right hip, your left arm reaches up. Breathing in, and then exhale, bend to your right. Fill the left lung as you inhale. Soften into the bend as you exhale. Let your gaze fall wherever feels right for you today. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, start to bring that left hand down, spiral towards the ground as you walk forward. Inhale fully. Exhale, soften into the fold. Stay for 2 rounds of breath this time. And on a breath in, you'll slowly walk your hands in, and come on back up. So we'll take Shavasana. I'm going to suggest taking your blanket, if you have one of these, and you're using it today, just behind your head in like the tip top of your shoulders. If you have two blocks, you can rest the back of your hands on the blocks. If you have bolsters of the same size, you can rest them on there. And get comfortable. Make this the most relaxing pose of your practice. If you feel like laying on your back for the next 5-7 minutes is maybe a bit much, you can also just come over onto your left side and maybe put a bolster or blanket between the legs. Betsy, that's always an option for you as you start to go further into this. So laying on the left is available for anyone, sideline pose. It might be nice to tuck something between the shins, and but otherwise lying on your back, just giving yourself some time. Samavesha, this idea of reintegration and union with the whole. Well, reading by Cleo Wade. Does the sea ever say? Does the sea ever say, I am not the ocean? And would the river ever discriminate against even a single raindrop? Does the pond ever consider the lake to be anything less than kin? And do you think the stream would ever dream of feeling inferior to the channel, or the channel ever regard the stream in any other way than magnificent in its soothing beauty? No. It is people who have decided to categorize themselves away from each other, create beliefs to pin themselves against each other, and construct hierarchies in pursuit of dominance over each other's bodies. All of this in the name of power. Water, of course, sighs at these strategies, for water knows the true power of falling from heaven and owning more earth than land ever will. That which leaves the earth and evaporates comes back down, back into the earth, back into the pools, back into its wholeness. It transforms along the way, and then it comes back to the whole, a part of the collective, essential. And that is the practice of our yoga, to remember our wholeness, our vastness, how essential we are. And to remember it, that we carry it with us everywhere we go. It is not temporary or circumstantial. It is our constant. It is our always. Maybe you hear the sound of rain wherever you are. It's droplets returning back to the earth. Wherever you are, whatever shape you've taken, maybe hearing the rain, imagining the rain washing over you, freeing you of all your human tendencies, the labels, the garments we wear, the roles we take, these ideas we've convinced ourselves of to be liberated and be free, so we might see ourselves as whole. We might remember the wholeness we carry within us everywhere we go. Take a long breath in, and a long breath out. Breathe in, take up more space. Exhale, maybe a little something you found along the way to surrender. Something new, something forgotten. Allow the breath to sustain you. Invite your movements to be slow, down to your toes and out to your fingers and into the scalp and skull. And then allow it to expand, grow in effort, rolling, stretching, contracting, maybe walking the feet in, taking the head from side to side. Tip over onto a side of your choice. Pausing, breathing in, opening the mouth and sighing out. That you are exactly where you're supposed to be and exactly how you're supposed to be. You are whole. Rising up to seated. Maybe a gentle shrug of the shoulders up and back and down. The Anjali Mudra, palms together, a gesture of union. These dualities come to oneness. Chin towards chest, honoring this within us. The yogis believe the heart space, the anahata, the unstruck, is where our universal wholeness, oneness, connects to our individual experience. Then lifting the thumbs to the third eye. May it inspire our thoughts, words, actions, behaviors, habits, our samskaras, the patterns in which we move through the world. Bowing forward to seal your practice. Namaste.